Burkina Faso's bold rise from colonial chains to a new era of sovereignty. He said no to millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia to build mosques. Instead, he said, "My people need roads, schools, and hospitals. They can pray at home." This is Captain Ibrahim Traore, Africa's youngest leader, and this is the story of Burkina Faso's rise from colonization to renewal. Burkina Faso, a small landlocked country in West Africa, has endured colonization, military coups, and jihadist violence. But through it all, the spirit of its people has never wavered. And now a new leader is writing a bold new chapter centered on sovereignty, self-reliance, and pride. This is the journey of a nation fighting for its future. In the late 1800s, the French colonized what was then called Upper Volta, breaking apart ancient kingdoms and exploiting the land and its people. But resistance ran deep. The Volta-Bani War of 1915 to 1917 marked one of West Africa's most organized uprisings. After decades of struggle, the nation gained independence in 1960. In 1984, revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara renamed the country Burkina Faso, meaning land of incorruptible people. He launched radical reforms, vaccinating millions, planting trees across the Sahel, and promoting gender equality. But in 1987, Sankara was assassinated, and a 27-year authoritarian rule followed under Blaise Compaoré. Burkina Faso's terrain is both beautiful and harsh. It stretches across savannas and dry plains in the Sudano-Sahelian zone, bordered by 6 neighboring countries. The north faces brutal dry seasons, with only a few months of rainfall, while the south is tropical with lush rains and dramatic landscapes like the Banfora Escarpment and the Cascades de Carfigala. Temperatures often soar past 40 degrees Celsius, and winds from the Sahara blow dust across the land. Yet still, life thrives here. Burkina Faso has seen over 10 coups since independence. The most recent came in 2022, when Captain Ibrahim Traore, a 34-year-old soldier, seized power.
If you want to break with these imperialist forces, it's simple. We denounce the agreements. Everything starts from there. I think the example of Chad in any case is tangible. They started by denouncing the agreements. Otherwise, if we don't denounce the agreements, just saying that the bases leave, we haven't done anything. Because the problem lies in the colonial agreements, the defenses that have been signed since independence. The most dangerous is not the one you see in the bases. The most dangerous are the military advisors. Military advisors exist in all these countries. They existed in Burkina as well until the end of 2022, until we took responsibility. And who are these military advisors? They are the ones who are supposed to implement France's policy here. They must work to make our armies very weak so that France can always have the argument to exist here. Under their influence, they had succeeded. Our sentinels were therefore standing guard with sticks. That's what France wants from our armies. When we reach this stage, we have no choice but to want them to come and settle. But the Burkinabe army managed to get rid of the military advisors.
The country also faces a violent jihadist insurgency linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Over 2 million people have been displaced. And with a GDP per capita of just $888, economic hardship is everywhere. But in the face of adversity, something remarkable is happening.
You have to break the agreements. It's the only way to have an independent army and build strength. But many people do not understand this, perhaps. And even with these agreements, France selects from our states officer cadets to go and train them. It's through these same agreements. But in reality, these officers who go to train, for the most part for France, they come to serve the French state in their country. They do not come to serve our countries. They train them so that they come to serve the interests of the French state. I can provide evidence of this. When we revolted, Many officers in Burkina who were trained in France were immediately contacted to tell them that it was time to take action because you were trained for this, to serve France's interests. Most of these officers reported back to us. We took note and we continued to monitor. When an officer trained in France returns to his country and unfortunately dies, either by accident or on the battlefield. In France, there is a night of tribute to the fallen in the army, as there is everywhere else. During the night of tribute to the fallen, the name of the officer in question is mentioned, and it is said, died for France. They do not train him to serve his country, they train him to serve their state. And in many African states, there are plenty of such officers.
Since taking power, Captain Traore has made bold, unapologetic moves. He refused a major foreign-funded mosque project, saying, Captain Ibrahim Traore, let's use that money to build what my people truly need: schools, hospitals, roads. He revoked mining rights from foreign companies and handed control of Burkina Faso's gold and mineral wealth to an indigenous commission. Captain Ibrahim Traore, my people can mine their own gold, he said. He cut military ties with France, choosing new defence partnerships focused on national sovereignty, and in 2024, Burkina Faso withdrew from ECOWAS and the African Union, rejecting Western influence altogether. Despite its challenges, Burkina Faso is rich with cultural and natural treasures. From the ancient Loropeni ruins tied to the gold trade, to the W. Ali Penjari Wildlife Reserve, home to lions and elephants, to the colourful capital city of Ouagadougou, where Africa's largest film festival, FESPACO, draws artists from across the continent. This is a nation with soul, where heritage runs deep. Burkina Faso's journey mirrors a greater African awakening. From the dream of Thomas Sankara to the courage of Captain Traore, this nation stands as a symbol of what can happen when a people rise and take back their destiny. As the world watches, Traore's leadership is redefining what it means to govern for the people. With every reform, every act of defiance, he sends a message to Africa and the world: Captain Ibrahim Traore, we are not for sale. God bless the people of Burkina Faso. God bless Africa. If you believe in the power of nations to rise, rebuild, and reclaim their future, like, comment, and subscribe, because this is just the beginning.